York, big city of dreams.
I'm coming straight out.
New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.
What's going on? It's JLS from Nick of Time Show. Here to give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. We are right on time to talk about the latest Knicks news and the Knicks rumors that's been coming out the last few weeks, man. But before I get to that, let me introduce my guy, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Ryan G is in the building as usual.
Damn right he's in this building as usual. All right. It's just us today holding down the fort, but we're gonna do what we do as always. First bit of news today. Get right into it. It's a small bit of news, but significant. Jonathan Macri reports that Frank Ntilikina is penciled in as a starter. Now that can change, of course, but as of today, Frank Ntilikina is the starter of the New York Knicks. Clap it up, damn it. Come on, Frank. Hype. Get hyped. Until we get Van Vliet or somebody. But
Yeah.
Frank Hype rejoice. Other tidbit that came out from that Macri reporting. Tibbs believes that Dennis Smith Jr. is indeed legit. Now, some people might look at that report and go, oh, wow. Tom sees something in Dennis Smith Jr. I guess Dennis Smith Jr. is going to stay with the New York Knicks instead of him being traded. But I'm looking at something else. Ryan. You know what I'm things that make you go.
Yeah.
Let's
Yes,
break,
sir.
Let's just break this down. Did you see anybody not mentioned in this news report, Ryan? Anybody you remember being the starting point guard of the New York Knicks last season that you can't remember, you can't see in this report?
Well, that name would be Elfrid Payton.
Elfrid Payton!
And the last time I checked, my man's is going to be earning $8 million next season on the Knicks roster. Like, he's not a free agent next season. He's going to be on the roster. So
Things that
at least.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Hey, you're forgetting something, Ron. You were forgetting something, Ron. People like to hate on your boy Scott Perry, but Ninja P, he has a clause in Elfrid Payton's contract. Elfrid Payton does have a team option, not a
He
play
does
option.
have a team option. Okay.
Not a play option, team option. They can let that boy walk scot free.
All right. Okay.
So what does that tell you, Ryan? What does that tell you?
It tells me that with the new player development staff the Knicks have, it looks like they're gonna go strictly young guys.
He's out of here.
Exactly, pretty much.
The news, addition by subtraction. If the news is Frank is a starter, and Tibbs believes in DSJ, that means na. Elfrid Payton is gone, man.
Hey.
Sing it.
Goodbye.
Elfrid Payton is gone,
Yes, sir.
allegedly, according to the rumors from from Macri, the guy who claims he's not an insider, but he's telling us inside information that no one knows about.
Word.
And if you listen to the episode last time, you know what I'm talking about. Oh man, other Knicks news, and we're gonna get to all the juicy rumors this week, man. From Kelly Oubre's to there's some ones. All right.
Yeah.
Other Knicks news. It's a small tidbit news. RJ Barrett and Frank, they're working out. I've seen some cool videos of Frank with his shirt off, with a little chain on, looking like he cut up. You know what I mean? Like he's Bane mode, shooting threes and floaters. He's working out. It looks like he's working out. But I saw a video from trainer Drew Holland, who's been working with RJ, and he breaks down what he's been working on RJ with. right? So he's pretty much changing the mechanics of his shot. And you know what? I'm not going to explain it. I'm going to just have you guys listen right now.
You know, what is something you guys are working? I mean, free throw percentage was low, 3-point percentage was low. I mean, what are you guys specifically working on to make him better at shooting?
Yeah, so I mean, we've made 3 real adjustments. The first one is posture. He was very upright, had no legs and no fluidity. So just working on his posture was the first thing that we did. Just making sure we're leaning him forward a little bit, making sure his hips are dropped so that he can use his legs and connect his legs to his upper body. The second thing is his pocket. His pocket, was moved in. A lot of coaches like elbow in. The problem is when you have lefties, a lot of lefties don't, for whatever reason, shoot with, a good vision. You want a good vision triangle. You want to be able to see the rim with 2 eyes, and he was blocking his vision, and it caused some problems in his shoulder for power. So we moved his elbow out, which I know scares a lot of traditional, kind of basketball coaches. But the truth is I had to do it with Jason Tatum. I've had to do it with a bunch of other shooters. Kelly Oubre, who had a really good year this year. I had to move their elbows out. And so we're following that exact program. So improving his pocket so that he has a good vision triangle, which allows for more source of power. And the third thing was he bunched up his hand on his follow through a lot. And you see that a lot with guys that don't have great touch. They want to kind of stop their shot, you know what I mean, instead of trusting it. And so we're just working on a clean, straight snap every single time, keeping his hand spread so there's more rotation on the ball and backspin, which will soften his shot and give him some more room for error.
Very interesting what I heard from the trainer. Very interesting indeed. Particularly the part about left-handed players and how they have to adjust because they block the line of vision. That was interesting. Hopefully the news and that info helps RJ out. And he starts shooting better, a whole lot better, and gives him some spacing, because Lord knows Knicks need spacing next year.
A whole lot of spacing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But in other news, let's get into something juicier. Speaking of young, promising wings, big news for your head top. Kelly Oubre Jr., Phoenix Suns wing. It's been reported that the Phoenix Suns, they want to shed some salary cap. They want to get some shooting in there. They want to probably some stretch fours. You're probably looking at Bertans and those guys like that. They want to trade Kelly Oubre and the 10th pick, Ryan, for a veteran shooter. Things that make you go, Any veteran shooters we have in mind, Ryan, that we could possibly give? Because if they're trying to save money,
yeah,
we got some cheap ones.
Exactly. There's 2 options on the Knicks. You have the more expensive option, which is Wayne Ellington, but Wayne Ellington didn't get much playing time with the Knicks last season, so.
Oh no.
So you would think that the Sixers, you would think that the Suns would probably bypass that. But then there's this other guy in the Knicks named Reggie Bullock.
Oh, really?
Yes, and this guy got significant time on the Knicks when he played for them on the court. And if you look at Reggie Bullock, he is a career 38.5% three-point shooter. That's career.
Absolutely.
Yes, and let's see how much is Reggie Bullock earning next season. Let's see.
Let's check that out real quick then.
$4.2 million.
Wow.
Pretty cheap option.
I would say so. How much is Kelly making, Ryan? How much would you say?
Kelly Oubre is making $14.3 million next season.
How about that? That saves you roughly
like $10 million.
$10 million.
Exactly.
Hey, Phoenix. He got you. Now, if Phoenix feels like, Reggie's a viable option, last year was a fluke, maybe you know the drill. Oh, it's the Knicks. Knicks can never do anything right. Maybe they think that.
Exactly, well, spacing was the issue with the Knicks, so Reggie Bullock didn't have much space when he shot them threes.
Exactly.
Maybe when he goes to the Suns, he's gonna get more space, which means that 3-point percentage is going to rise.
Exactly. So maybe it's a possibility that they'll come through, and that would leave the Knicks in a great situation. with
Very
the
great.
8th and the 10th pick.
And then Kelly Oubre was averaging like almost 18 a game last season.
I mean, shoot, listen. Stats for your head, yo. He's improved in every statistical category this season. This is not even his contract year. This is why I believe it. This is why I believe it, Ryan. Because we talk about these guys, it'll be a contract year. All of a sudden, they nice. This is the year before his contract year, and he's improved in every statistical category.
Exactly.
18 points a game now. Looking up, his steal rate is going up. His free throw rate is going up. He's getting to the line better. We need defense. 12th in deflections last season at 3 a game. I saw an interesting stat that said he was a 48% on clutch 3-pointers last season.
Ooh. Okay.
So now when you're looking at Kelly Oubre, right? You're like, oh, he's doing okay, average. 35% from 3. Average.
Yeah.
That's average. But in the clutch, Ryan, when the game is close, 48%. Woo.
Yeah, the Knicks need some of that.
We need some of that. Which means, if we are going through RJ next season, he got somebody to kick it to for that 3, and that's going in the clutch. Damn it.
Word.
So I'm all in, and I kind of believe this rumor, Ryan. I'm not gonna. There's some rumors you just don't know. I believe it only because they were rumored to move Kelly Oubre in February.
Yeah.
He got the meniscus tear. He's kind of been a little bit out of sight of mind, a little bit. Like I said, they're looking to save money, and at the same time, their rookie stepped up. Cameron Johnson, as good as Oubre is, Cameron Johnson has been hitting that 3-point shot at a very high clip, almost damn near 40% from 3 for them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're thinking, all right, we have a guy who can start right next to Devin Booker, who's going to cost a lot less.
Yeah.
And they're trying to fill out their roster and get a stretch forward to make things easier for them, or even get a Van Vliet, who they've been rumored to go after as well.
Yeah.
Then it might make sense for them to just take that bullet to get a free agent here. So
most definitely.
I believe it. Now, can the Knicks get him is another story. But listen, I'd be ecstatic if the Knicks get him, because listen, more draft picks, more draft picks for this development staff that we have coming in today is going to be more possibilities for us to find that diamond in the rough that's going to lead us to the promised land, because we need cheap talent too, man.
Exactly. And I think what also needs to be mentioned is that if say for example the Suns do pull the trigger on that trade, the Knicks have the 8th and the 10th pick. It's possible that if the Knicks target a player high up in the draft, it's possible that they can package the 8th and 10th pick and get and just move up in the draft and draft whoever it is, that player that they eyeing, near the top. So that's also a possibility right there.
Dude, the possibilities are endless, man. The possibilities are endless. Because, listen, Macri reported, shout out to our insider, Jonathan Macri. He reported that the Knicks aren't just looking at point guards. Shout out to
the Popo.
Sirens. It's Brooklyn, baby. This is how we do. We make noise.
Yo. Never quiet.
We still potted.
Word.
Shout out to Macri, man. He reported that the Knicks aren't just looking at point guards. They're looking at everybody, and he believes that shooting might be a priority. So guys who are looking at Vassell, if you decided to keep the picks, you can end up with Vassell and Kira, because it's also been reported that the Knicks are looking into Kira.
Yeah.
Or Vassell and Cole.
Which is another possibility.
Or you can move up. Maybe you package those picks and move up to the 3rd pick or the 2nd pick. I'm not sure if I would do that, but
just saying that it just depends on how high the Knicks value those top picks for them to move up in the draft. But like you said, if the priority is shooting, there's definitely going to be shooting around that eighth and 10th spot regardless. So
exactly, there's a lot. If the priority is shooting, if Obi Toppin slips, maybe you go Toppin. That's your stretch four.
Yeah.
And then get a guard or what, and move forward that way. There's a lot of possibilities. My guy CK2K, he was talking about trading up for the third pick. And there were rumors that, the Charlotte Hornets were looking at Julius Randle earlier.
Oh, I'll ship him ASAP. What Charlotte want with Julius Randle? I'll ship him ASAP.
I mean, listen. They were trying to... Now, if that's the case, does Julius Randle get you the third pick of the draft?
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like I feel like the Knicks gonna have to give up way more than just Julius Randle to get that third pick.
Yeah, like I don't think it's be Julius and a pick for the third. I can't.
Yeah.
Or Julius and DSJ for the will they do that? I don't know. I feel like Julius, 8th pick, DSJ for the third. I don't know. I don't know if they would do that or not.
Yeah, me neither. Knicks gonna have to give up somebody valuable, I believe, with Julius Randle for them to move up to that third pick. Maybe,
or maybe they just want Julius Randle that bad because I don't know. Who knows? It's a possibility. Go ahead, Ryan.
No, I'm just saying that shoot. I mean, if that's the case, I'll definitely give them Julius Randle like a second round pick if they want Julius Randle that bag for that third pick.
Easy.
Real.
Easy pickings. But while we're talking Julius Randle news, shout out to my guy CP Knicks Fan TV. I was on the show a week ago. Exclusive breaking news on Knicks Fan TV. The Knicks are prioritizing shopping Julius Randle. They're prioritizing moving him in a deal. And the deal that's being discussed, and I talked to you about this, Ryan, earlier, Julius Randle for Mike Conley.
Yeah.
And draft pick considerations. Now, for those of you who are going no deal, there's things to like about this, all right? We already know what the motivation is for the Knicks.
Yeah.
For Utah, Mike Conley has not been performing well. They want more help. They probably want more scoring help. Julius Randle can get some buckets, even though, the spacing and stuff here was weird. I feel like he can get buckets somewhere else if the team is built correctly. Right? So there's incentive for them to get some help scoring. There's also the pay incentive. Michael Conley costs vastly more than Julius Randle, even though Julius Randle has a few more years on his contract. Mike Conley only has 2 seasons and costs around $34 million.
Yeah.
So, in essence, the Utah Jazz saves money on their cap so they can sign somebody else who wasn't, and give them, and give them some more help and some more depth at the same time. While the Knicks get a veteran point guard who can mentor the youth. Mike Conley, as bad as he's been because he's been injured, he's been shooting still average NBA 3-point percentage around 35%. Way better than Elfrid Payton. And he kind of stabilizes us a little bit. Now, if he gets any better, maybe re-sign him for a little bit longer term as a stopgap point guard for now, but at a way cheaper price.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that deal, Ryan? Anything to add?
I mean, just for the simple fact that I think people have to realize Conley, not only is he a veteran point guard, like he's well respected in the league. He's had a lot of good seasons while in Memphis. It didn't work out for him in Utah, but I don't think that should be like an indictment on Conley, really. He was going into a new situation, and then it was also said that he wasn't too fond of even going to Utah to begin with. So I feel like maybe him moving to a new team, it might rejuvenate him a bit and make him find some of his old Memphis form.
Right.
So that might work in the Knicks' favor if they make that trade. And then, like you said, Knicks have 2 young point guards on their roster, Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr. that could possibly learn from Conley.
Right.
And then on top of that, like, Conley's going to be a free agent after next season anyway. So it's not even like the Knicks are going to have his contract on the books for mad long anyway. So to me, it's a no-brainer. It's like if I'm looking for more draft picks and I'm going to bring in a veteran point guard that could possibly help lift the team a bit, to me, it's like, why not? I'm going to pull the trigger on that.
Absolutely. I mean, a pick? Another pick? Another pick? Like, when you look, the outlook of this season, it seems like, with these possibilities, it seems like the Knicks can get like another pick here in some way. Whether it's from Utah, whether it's from Kelly Oubre, it seems like I feel like the Knicks can walk away with another pick.
Yeah.
And end up picking 8, 10, 20, 27. We can end up with 4 picks this season, or 4 or 5. We can end up with a nice little haul this season of young players.
Yeah.
Which would be interesting. No brainer for me. Come hither, Mike Conley. Come to the Knicks, man. I'm with it. And for those who feel like, oh, this is a bad news because he's a veteran and he doesn't fit with the scheme of things and he's not with the pace that we're trying. It's a short deal anyway. And if you're getting a pick, I'm doing that deal. Point blank period. And you get rid of Julius Randle, it's addition by subtraction.
Exactly.
It's addition by subtraction. Just the mere fact that we can move Randle, possibly sign a stretch 4 to start in his place to open up things for our young guys is worth it enough for me to do that deal. And that's all I got to say about that. So to me, the deals that came out and the rumors that came out is no-brainer deals. Kelly Oubre, no-brainer to me. Julius Randle, no-brainer to me.
I'm pulling the trigger on both.
Bang, bang.
Bring Kelly Oubre and Mike Conley. Shoot.
Yo, let's go. Run it.
Exactly. That got to be like at least like +5 to +10 wins next season, automatically.
I'm with it. Get us in that sniff the playoffs hunt, please.
Word.
Bring us to respectability.
Yes.
Right? And then I don't know how much money we have left over for a power forward, a stretch 4 after that though. That might be interesting.
Yeah.
Who's like yeah, that might be hard to fill, but who knows? Bertans might be gone. Danilo's is a bag. Who knows, man? Melo might be going to Portland.
Well, Melo wants to stay in Portland.
Yeah, Melo wants to stay in Portland. Maybe Melo if Portland snubs him, which I don't see.
Yeah, I can't see that either.
Who else did we doing a video on? Maybe Mook. Maybe Mook will come back. Stretch 4 Mook.
It's a possibility. It depends.
He was making $15 million. He might want to raise though. I don't know what his market is after that though. He might not be able to get that much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like with his performances with the Clippers, I'm not sure if he's going to command $15 million. I guess you have to wait and see. But yeah, I mean, if we can sign him for the cheap, why not? I'd bring him back on the cheap.
That might be the move, yo. That might be the. So you end up with Conley, Oubre, RJ, Mook, Mitch. That might be.
I think so. I think somebody's definitely gonna have to come off the bench. I'm not sure if you could start all those guys together. Like there's gonna have to be at least somebody coming off the bench because I think Mitch. The stretch 4 is gonna probably be if you bring it back Morris, you get Oubre and Conley. I'm guessing Morris would be the stretch 4.
Right.
Oh, maybe it can work out. Then
Yeah.
Then Oubre the 3, then RJ the 2, then Conley the 1. Yeah, it can work out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the best shooting. Mook might be the best 3-point shooter there.
Yeah.
But It's NBA average shooting.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. Okay. All right. I can roll with that.
Yeah. I mean, automatically, I think that's at least plus 5 wins.
Yeah.
At least
plus 5, and you hope the other players develop. Maybe.
Yeah.
And they also feel like, hey, listen, Mike Conley is not. He has not been healthy. He has not been healthy. He might be injured for most of that season. I don't know, or part of it. So you probably still get your healthy dosage of Frank or whoever coming off the bench, even still.
Yeah.
If you just look at his history. Moving on though, to the no-brainer trades. This brainer. We've talked about this multiple times, right? And with the recent news that's come out with the OKC Thunder, you just know it's happening now. Because before you thought, ooh, would the Thunder move Chris Paul? You thought they might, depending on how they play. But listen, it came out that their coach, the Thunder coach, is indeed leaving. Billy Donovan is leaving the OKC Thunder. And you know when the coach is leaving, that kind of a signal. It's like a little flare. You blowing it up. OKC has a bunch of young guys. Chris Paul, a bunch of picks. Now that we know that Chris Paul is leaving, where is he going? The Knicks are one of the few teams, I think, that has a cap space to absorb a Chris Paul contract, which would behoove the Thunder. But there's other teams in the mix in these news reports that have their eye on Chris Paul as well. You know those teams are, right, Ryan?
Yes. Those teams are the Phoenix Suns, the Pelicans, the Jazz, the Bucks, the Sixers, and the Mavericks, along with the Knicks.
Mm-hmm. Because when I think about it, who's a real threat to get Paul, right? Well, first of all, some Knicks fans are on the side of Paul. Some Knicks fans aren't. Me personally, I do not want to give up any picks for Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Rumor has it that the Knicks have an offer on the table already. How accurate is that rumor? I don't know. Scoop B put it out there that there's an offer on the table already. I've also heard rumors that there's a significant offer on the table from the Knicks. I'm not sure how true or false it is. It's just what I'm hearing. But Ryan, let us know, like, what do you think other teams can offer? Because I know the Knicks can offer a pick, and they have more cap flexibility than every team listed in this rumor.
Yes.
Now, if we do a trade with the Phoenix Suns, that's going to help their cap flexibility a bunch. But who do you see as a competition for Chris Paul, Ryan?
Well, when I look at the picks and like possible pieces, I think New Orleans definitely has a shot, because besides the fact that because New Orleans, it's not like New Orleans has like an abundance of picks, because they own their 2020 pick,
right?
2021 they own it, but it goes to the Lakers if it ends up 1 through 7.
Mm-hmm.
They own the 2022. 2023 is going to be owner swap with Lakers, so it's not like the Pelicans have a bunch of stacked, draft picks available. But when you look at the roster, I think the Pelicans do have viable young pieces they could possibly give up,
right,
to get Chris Paul. Like, for example, you have Lonzo Ball,
right?
So it's like, okay, if they lose Chris Paul as a point guard, they're gaining a point guard in Lonzo Ball, and Lonzo Ball's earning like $11 million this upcoming season, and I think he has a qualifying offer for the following season.
Right.
Yeah. Then on top of that, I'm not sure if the Pelicans are going to want to part with some of the other young guys, but they have Josh Hart, $3.4 million, Nikhil Alexander-Walker, which I think is a player that they just recently drafted, earning $3.1 million. and Jackson A is the big man, 5.1 mil. So the Pelicans actually have young pieces that, you know, the Thunder may actually want.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in return for Chris Paul. And then if you look at other teams like the 76ers, I have no idea how they're going to pull that off because they're over the cap as it is. They're tied into contract with Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons.
Right.
You know, for that to even work, one of those guys has to be gone for that to even work. And I don't know what the Sixers are planning to do with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. I think Elton Brand said that he's planning to keep both of them, and they're just trying to bring in a new coach to make it work.
Okay.
Yeah, with both of them. So at the moment, I can't see them giving up Joel Embiid or Ben Simmons. It's a possibility, but like I said, the Sixers they're too tied up in their contracts, so I'm not sure how they would make that really work.
Yeah, I would say the same for the Bucks as well. Like,
yeah.
I know the Bucks are scared they're going to lose Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to try to bring a guard in there like Chris Paul's caliber to take some heat off of them and hit some clutch shots. But even for the Bucks, that doesn't seem like a long-term solution. You know?
Yeah. Chris Paul is pretty much stopgap, and they're going to have to give up somebody viable. Like probably. I don't like. They're gonna have to probably give up Bledsoe.
Why would they want Bledsoe?
Yeah, like that wouldn't make sense to me.
So to me, I guess Ryan, I would say, you looking at these teams, Jazz, like the Pelicans to me seems like the biggest competition, right? Would you say it's the Pelicans between the Pelicans and maybe the Suns? Because the Suns have Oubre.
Yeah.
Who they're trying to get rid of anyway. They might be willing to give up a pick, and maybe Rubio, who's cheaper, but you know he's an upgrade over Rubio.
Yeah, but Rubio's also an older guard too, so.
Right, he's a cheaper guard though.
Yeah, he's definitely cheaper.
He's a cheaper guard.
And then I think the Suns also have viable young pieces where, you know, if they're that desperate to bring in Chris Paul to play with Devin Booker, they do have some young pieces that they could possibly give up in the trade as well. So, yeah, if I have to really look at all the rosters, like I would agree, like the Pelicans and the Suns would probably be the Knicks' biggest competition to get Chris Paul.
Yeah, and I really like. I want to know what these Leon's head is at right now, man. Because if that happens, like I hope we're not in the sweepstakes of giving up picks at this stage of the game. It might make a slightly more sense for the Phoenix and Pelicans, but even them, I'm not even sure if for the Pelicans. You know what? Maybe for the Pelicans, because for the Pelicans, they're trying to sign Brandon Ingram, maybe.
Yeah. I can see the Pelicans pulling the trigger on that, though, because you have Brandon Ingram, who they're going to probably sign to a max deal.
Right. Maybe they trade for Paul, sign him after the fact, if they really want to go after the cap to sign him.
Yeah,
but that's
exactly.
And then get rid of the salaries of
like Lonzo and a couple other maybe young pieces, and have them go to Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to think about it too. So Brandon Ingram's going to probably be signed to a max. They have Zion.
Right.
So right there, that's two key pieces, right? Two key young pieces.
Right.
They're still gonna have a shooter in JJ Redick.
Right.
So.
And it's also looking at Drew Holiday too. Do they move Drew Holiday as well? Because I know he's also a big contract as well. So that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like the Pelicans do have a few pieces in place where if they bring in somebody like Chris Paul, they could possibly make a push for the playoffs.
Right. And just that story too. Just the storyline itself of Chris Paul returning home.
Yeah.
To New Orleans, even though it's like a, you know.
Yeah, it's nice. It's not the Hornets, but
right.
It's the same thing though. He played in New Orleans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That storyline is just too juicy too. I can see that making sense. Hopefully the Knick. I would love Chris Paul in this team, but not for no picks. I personally will pass on that. Let me know what you guys think below. Does the performance of Paul change your mind in any way of him bringing him here to the Knicks? Would you forfeit a pick for Chris Paul? Let us know in the comments. I'm not with it. How about you, Ryan?
Me personally, for me to take on Chris Paul's contract, I would want to pick from the Thunder, but I don't think the Thunder is interested in dealing picks like that to get rid of big contracts. I think they're looking for something in return, and they might have a case due to Chris Paul's play this past season.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way I pull the trigger on that is if the Thunder give me a pick to take on Chris Paul's huge contract, but I don't see it that way. So for me to give up a pick to go get Chris Paul, I probably wouldn't do it. Not at this point.
It's been reported that the Thunder want a pick for Chris Paul.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
Sorry, bro. Kevin Knox ain't gonna do it for you. It's not happening.
Yeah, we're gonna have to give up a good amount of picks to probably bring in Chris Paul, and Chris Paul's a good player, man. But damn.
Yeah, man. Solves a lot of problems. But it's just not it, bro.
For an agent, maybe if this was Chris Paul like 3-4 years ago, then I'd be like, oh hell yeah, I'll bring him in. Yeah, but an agent Chris Paul, I don't know, man.
I'll pass.
Yeah.
I flip-flopped on Chris Paul for a few times this season. I went from pass to I'm down, and now I'm back to pass.
Yeah. For real.
Too rich for my blood.
Oh man.
Now it's time for one of the favorite parts of the show.
Bruh.
It's the bruh picks. There's no ooh picks this week. Usually the ooh picks are, if you're new to us, the best plays of the week. But there's no Knicks basketball. Ooh picks are only reserved for Knicks basketball. And there's no ooh picks this week. But we do have bruh picks, which are usually the worst plays of the week. Or stupid things that happen in life. We call life bruhs. Like, what are you doing, dog? Why the hell did you... That's what we call the life bruhs. And I actually have a bruh today. And you guys help me figure this out, because I'm not exactly sure who to give this bruh to. But it's just an interesting story, so we gonna talk about it.
Shout out to Popo again.
All right. First bruh goes to either the NBA,
Bruh.
Daniel House,
Bruh.
or the young lady who crept into his hotel room Tuesday early in the morning. Or Tuesday late night, left early morning.
Yes.
Now, if you have not heard, Daniel House has been asked to leave the bubble because he violated certain terms and agreements for the Disney bubble. You know, everybody's trying to be safe. No one wants the coronavirus because this shit is real, right?
Word.
But a COVID staffer visited his hotel late at night. Now, there's no video evidence of her going into his room. All they have is her little time card recording of when she leaves the hotel and when she's entering the hotel.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Here is why I'm having a problem figuring out who to give the bruh to. If you're kicking out Daniel House for safety reasons because he violated the code, but the person who invited into his hotel is indeed safe because they are a COVID tester, doesn't that conflict? Doesn't that mean that even though he broke the rule, technically it's the safest way to break the rule? Like, it's a safe bet she doesn't have COVID, right? Because she's a COVID tester. She probably tested herself.
Exactly. My whole thing is, because I don't know how the rules apply to the COVID staffer. So I don't know if she arrives there every morning, tests the players, and then goes home, or if she actually stays. But my thing is that if she actually stays in the bubble, then I don't know what the issue is, because it's like they're both in the bubble together. They
Facts.
both get tested regularly.
Facts. So
what's the issue?
And once you break it down that way, I'm giving the bruh pick to the NBA. Because to me now, it seems like the NBA just hating. You didn't have to kick him out the bubble. For all I know, you the reason why the Rockets lost. It's your fault. All right? You took out a key rotational piece. He's giving you 30 minutes a game, hitting 36% from three, and now LeBron's going off willingly because he kicked Daniel House out the boat.
Bruh.
So yeah, bruh pick to the NBA for kicking that poor man out of the bubble just for trying to get some love, because you're in a bubble with a bunch of dudes
Exactly.
for a month and a half or however long they've been there. No family, no friends, no just a little love.
Like my guy probably don't even have a legit girlfriend. My man's probably going from city to city, getting somewhere wherever he can get some, and then all of a sudden now he's in a bubble. He can't do what he used to do.
Trying to get his rocket off, but whatever.
Exactly. Bruh
pick to the NBA, man.
Bruh.
Let my man live.
Exactly,
Let my man live.
Oh man.
That's all I got to say about that.
Word.
Shout out to that young woman who's just trying to live her life too. All right.
Yeah, and she still got her job, and she can still come to the bubble while Daniel House gotta leave.
Exactly. I mean, now all of Houston Rockets, all of Houston is left. So
true that. So everybody's home now. So.
Everybody home.
Word.
So well, Daniel, damn Daniel. Well, you can do what you want now that you're home.
Exactly.
All right. Take over, Ryan. Bruh man for the fifth flow. I know you got some bruh picks up your sleeve.
Yes.
Let us know.
From the fifth flow. Okay. First bruh pick goes to Marcus Smart. Now, Marcus Smart's been playing great in the playoffs.
Oh,
my man's been balling. He's been hitting clutch shots. He's been playing great defense.
Gordon who?
Exactly. Like, we don't even know who Gordon Hayward is anymore.
Me neither. I gotta Google him. Hold on.
Word. But my guy had a bruh moment, though. Game 7. Celtics, Raptors. My guy got the ball. Drove into the lane. I think he saw Serge Ibaka in the cut. So he was like, "Oh, I gotta shoot this up high because Serge Ibaka, he's a shot block. He's gonna get my shot." So my guy Marcus Smart shot a floater, and it floated all the way over the backboard.
Float on.
And it resulted in being a turnover. And what I love most about this play was that the announcers on the air specifically said, "I think that's a Shaq in the Fool moment."
Oh,
Yeah.
They were wrong. It's a bruh pick.
Bruh.
It's a bruh pick moment.
Not so smart. All right.
Yeah, no, you're not so smart at that play, yeah. Second bruh pick, I don't know if this goes to Westbrook or if I don't know if this goes to Randle's brother. But they were both involved in incidents. So as the Rockets were getting smacked yesterday by the Lakers and got sent home, Russ, I forgot who was at the line, but Russ was, he got into an altercation while on the court. And he was talking to somebody on the Lakers side, on the Lakers family side. Just to find out, it's Ronald's brother talking trash to him.
Man, listen.
Bruh.
Russ gonna find somebody he talking trash to
Word.
and talk back. That's happening.
So
Even with
Russ,
3 people in the stands, he's doing it. All right.
Word. So Russ is there talking trash and everything, and then all of a sudden, Ronald's brother had to leave the court because supposedly, I think they said Russ got him thrown off. Russ got him thrown out the out the game.
Don't flex on Russ. He ain't gonna beat me and disrespect me. He ain't doing
Exactly, yo.
I have to imagine though Rondo's brother would have a slick mouth.
I mean, look at Rondo.
I'm just
So,
saying.
it must run in the family, so
Have to be hereditary.
exactly. So I don't know if that bro goes to Russ. I don't know if that bro goes to Rondo's brother. I don't know if that's a bro on both of their sides, but that's a bro. That's just a bro situation all the
Okay,
way
all
around.
right. Oh, like all right, double bro, like double technical.
Exactly, yeah, double bro.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bruh.
All right. Eh,
Yeah.
That's it. Those are the bruh picks, man. That was our show. Light work. Knicks
Yeah.
news, Knicks rumors. You know, bring you up to speed of what's going on. Thank you for watching. Listen, man. Definitely check out the blogs at thenickoftimeshow.com. Shout out to Dash Radio for housing us. Also follow us on Twitter at the KOT Show, on Instagram at the Nick of Time Show, and you can also find me on Instagram at JLS Draw Stinks. That's JELLIS Draw Stinks. And where can they find you, Ryan?
You can find me on IG at Sir G is chillin'.
Sir G is chilling.
That is SIR. G is CHILLIN.
That's right. That's right. Also find us on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play,
Yes.
and all that noise.
Like, subscribe, comment.
All that.
Yes.
That's right. We out of here.
Peace.
New York, big city of dreams.
I'm coming straight out.
New York, big city of dreams.
In